Hi, this is San with Sensational VSG. I'm coming back with my 2 weeks update. Um, let's get into it. I am 34 years old. I am 5'6". I had VSG, vertical sleeve, weight loss surgery with Dr. Summers at Hudson Valley Hospital. Um, my highest weight was 297. My pre-op weight was 277. That's what I started with on my pre-op diet. After that, on my surgery date, I was 265. And this week, yesterday I weighed in at 254.4 pounds, which is exactly 2 pound loss. Um, I was, I'm happy that there was a loss. I was expecting more. I don't know why, but I'm happy there was a loss because last week Aunt Flo came to visit. It was a short week. And I was feeling really, really bad that day. I wasn't eating to plan as well. A few times I drank my calories, drank the fruit chillers from Wendy's. I even had a Rita's frozen drink. That went down pretty okay. It was one of the sugar-free ones, and that was about it. But, still drinking my calories. I haven't been eating over 1,000 calories. I'm still eating under 1,000 calories, and I'm not eating my protein or drinking my waters. So those are the things I need to fix for next week. I'm having a hard time with the protein shakes, the GNC. I really like them better than Premier. Before surgery, I was able to drink it with no problems, but now after surgery, they're just not going down as good. They cause a lot of phlegm or gurgles, and I'm just not having a good time settling in. When I force myself sip by sip and manage to get half of it down, it just makes me feel ill. I'm not sure why. The banana, especially the banana flavor one. So I'm just gonna work at that. We have so much of the protein shakes that I have to drink it. So I'm hoping it'll go down. I'm hoping I'll be able to tolerate other texture meat. I don't know how to get protein in. I don't like the protein waters. I definitely want to try that Protein 2.0 that Kitty was talking about. I went to my Rite Aid, they didn't have it, so I'm going to keep on trying or look online. I've been eating whitefish, tuna fish, chicken salads, chicken, shaved beef. So I just don't know how to get the protein in. I'm trying, but you can only eat so much of it. So the drinking seems more preferable, but they won't go down smooth. So I'm at a pickle. I'm at a crossroads. So I just have to work at it. Hopefully this week, that'll be my goal. Get in the protein. I need to get in 60 grams every day at least so that, I could fare better in this diet. Definitely one of the recommendations they say is not to count calories, but to count your proteins. I haven't been counting calories, but I do log everything in MyFitnessPal. This week, I wanted to talk about the 5 reasons why I was going to talk myself out of having VSG. I made a list of pros and cons, 5 reasons why I should have it, and 5 reasons why I shouldn't have it. So I thought I'd go with the negative first, right? So I'll talk about the 5 reasons why I shouldn't have the VSG. I wrote notes, so I'm looking down. Let's see. Here. There we go. So the 5 reasons why I thought I shouldn't have the VSG. And they're not in particular order, they're just random 5 reasons. Number 1 on top of the list that I wrote was scars. He wasn't going to do the one incision scar that I hear is now popular. He still did go through my belly button, which is kind of gross. I don't know, I just felt like, ugh. But one of the incisions are in my belly button. And then there's 4 little ones. I've had previous ones because he had to remove my lap band, so he kind of went over those. But my lap band scars healed and looked way better than now. So they faded after 5 years, of course. But now the scars are still present, and they're darkened. So I'm really not happy about that. That was one of the reasons. Scars, you have to live with them. Two, another reason why I thought I shouldn't have the VSG was that it was irreversible. They're taking out like 80% of your stomach and they're chucking it away. Like they're throwing it away like it was garbage. And I'm like, I'm never gonna see that stomach back. Not that I'm like gonna miss it, but definitely it's still a part of you and you're like, it's gone now. It can never be reversed or go back to the way things were. Not that I want to go back to the way things were, but it's just, you think about that, you know, that you're going to lose a part of you, and if anything goes wrong, how can it be reversed when it's gone? So, you know, I don't know. So that was a little jarring to kind of contemplate that if you're going to consider such a weight loss surgery, that it cannot be reversed. If you have complications, which I'll go into later, which I'm having now, but I'm going to talk about it after a month when I see him to see if the complication went away. But anyway, yeah, if you have complications, if something goes wrong, you can't go back to the way things were. So it's irreversible. That was something that kind of unnerved me. Not scare me, but unnerved me, you know. Number three, it is major surgery. I've never had major surgery except for the lap band, but even with the lap band, they were just installing something. This time they're removing something. Like they're cutting you up. They're going in, cutting it, chucking it, you know, like you're gonna be on there, and it's gonna take longer. So it took about an hour for my surgery, but recovery for me wasn't an hour like they said it was supposed to be. It ended up being 3 hours. The anesthesia they give you is unreal. The gas they use is ridiculous. So it's a longer recovery. Well, for me it was. For me, my recovery was longer. I had a hard time with anesthesia. Not as hard as my sister, though. My sister had a really tough time, but they do the anesthesia based on weight. And she has a lot more weight, so I think they gave her a lot more anesthesia. But for me, for some reason, I had a hard time with the anesthesia. I was in recovery for 3 hours, and I had low oxygen saturation, so I had to be on oxygen for the entire time I was there. And also I had inflammation. So yeah, there was a lot of things going on. It was like in my esophagus. It was like, must have been really tight. He does say he does a very tight sleeve, which I'm not mad about. I'm happy about. So I'm not mad about that it was a tight sleeve, but for me, it caused my esophagus to inflame more. But then again, I had a history of bad eating with my lap band, so I'll get into that later. That's another video, another time. But I feel like maybe that was the cause of a hard recovery. So it's major surgery. Complications can come about. And for me, I had complications. I still have it. Hopefully, I'll be cured from it. I don't know. Number 4, after having the VSG, after doing the 6 months of the entire insurance battle, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? You know, what if I don't feel full? You know, he took out my stomach, but I still eat like, you know, like I had it like that. I don't know. It was a lot of those things came about. You know, I've done the dieting. I've done the lap band. They haven't succeeded. So what if this one fails? And I went through the whole process. So that was another reason why I was thinking that's a con. Maybe I shouldn't have the VSG. Just another waste of time, money, effort. I don't know. So I was talking to myself like, what if it doesn't work type of thing, like the lap band. But I had to I had to really look at the two surgeries. They're very, very different. And it wasn't I that failed the lap band. It was the lap band that failed me. It wasn't my surgeon that failed. It was the actual lap band. The way my anatomy is built, for some reason, it was causing a lot more pain. I was that 1% that just couldn't tolerate having the lap band inside. So, so I had to stop comparing the two. And when I really researched it, looked at a lot of sleevers and their success stories, really looked at and talked to the surgeon and looked at more research, I felt that, you know, it's just, and talked to my doctor, my PCP, she felt like this would also help me with my health issues. So weight loss surgery. So it was definitely something you have to talk to your doctor about. I didn't talk to a family member like my mom. My mom doesn't know. No one else knows besides my sister and the rest of the world and YouTube. But yeah, everyone on YouTube knows. But no, everyone in my personal bubble doesn't know. Number 5, the last one, I won't eat the same way again or certain foods. It's true, watching the videos, people's experiences, not to say it's the same or not to say it's comparable, but to see what their experiences were. Some people say they couldn't eat certain foods anymore. Bread, pasta, biscuits, fried foods, candy, certain things like that. Chocolate, sweets. So all the bad stuff they couldn't eat anymore. They couldn't eat the way they want, which is the entire plate of a certain dish, or go out to eat at a certain restaurant, maybe those all you can eat restaurants. So I won't be able to eat the same way again. Now, not to say that I ate bad. I just ate too much of the good stuff. Like, I would cook my meals, but when I portion them out, I counted my calories, I ate my plate, my serving size, I would sit there and I'm like thinking, I can still eat. I want to eat, And when I do that, it's not to say I want to eat to be satisfied. I wanted to eat to feel full. Because once I hit that threshold of fullness, in my mind, I hit a euphoric feeling. I'm happy. So when people talk about food addiction or emotional eating, it's really something that it's not like a funny topic. It's a really serious topic, because those kind of things, they creep up on you, and by the time you know it, the habits that you have when it comes to addictive eating or emotional eating, they'll just in the end cause health issues or overweight, and the overweight will just transpire to something else internally that will cause health issues. So it was just, when I evaluate the way I eat now, it's kind of like I'm happy that stopped. I'm happy that changed. So before, when I was contemplating, I won't get to eat the pizza anymore. I won't get to eat a whole thing of a Chipotle bowl or Moe's, or certain Haitian dishes like. I'm Haitian by trade. I'm Haitian American. So there's some dishes that I won't be able to eat, like Dijonjon, it's a mushroom rice, and I won't be able to eat that for a while, or guyo, which is heavily fried food, fried plantains, fried pork. So, and pickles, which is very acidic and very spicy. So those certain things too, I won't be able to enjoy. And so I was saying all of that, but then I was thinking, now that I have it, having it done outweighs that small little inconvenience of eating the way I wanted back in the day. Like, I have 34 years of eating what I wanted, how I wanted, and this is the result. Me being overweight, unhealthy, having issues internally. So no, it's like, it's time for a change. So I could live without eating a different way, not eating the same foods that were not really good for me or triggered my addictive type of eating the way I ate. Because when I ate, it was, like comfort food. I wouldn't eat because I was sad, but I would eat when I'm happy. I would eat when I'm stressed. I would eat when I had anxiety, or when I was in front of the TV about to put in a good movie. I felt like, movie eating, or being in front of the TV or in front of the movie screens, I wanted to eat, those kind of things. That's when I would eat. But then to feel good about eating, not only did it had to taste good, but it also had to be very filling. So that takes a lot of food. And I could eat a lot of food, especially back then, before my VSG, I ate a lot of food and hit that full feeling, and I was happy. And when it digested and went down, and I thought, not because I was hungry, but I wanted to eat because the happiness was gone. The feeling of fullness was gone. So that kind of messed up thinking is what led me to my issues. And I could definitely relate, when Kitty talked about her addictive eating, or when Tosh talked about hers. And Lucy did too, when they talked about those type of food addictions. It's real. It definitely is real. And honestly, as a person who suffers from that, weight loss surgery was definitely an option that I needed to consider, and an option that I did take, and an option I'm happy at that I end up doing, because I wouldn't have been able to correct this issue of mine by myself. I had 34 years to do it, and I failed every time. I got on those diets, but every time I went back to the way I ate, the weight came back. So it was a constant yo-yo. It was a constant mind battle. It was a constant determination, and then giving up, and then being sad, and then wanting to change, and then determination again, and then giving up, and then it was like a constant cycle of madness. And it was literally, it was insanity, because I was just doing the same thing and getting the same results, and the same thing over again, and the same results. So this time I'm hoping with this tool I will be able to have like a lasting success, and that I will reevaluate the way I eat. Right now it's been great, Besides the complications, I don't feel hungry. I have to make myself eat, which I'm happy about. If I eat something wrong, my sleep will tell me, hey, this is not going down, or it's gonna go down rough, next time don't you think about eating it again, So I'm happy about, those kind of changes, because it really makes me stop and think. When I chew my food, I really have to really think about it. When I prepare my food, I have to make sure this is healthy, or this is what I can tolerate. This is the amount I should have. It really makes you really, really change. So, and really evaluate your eating. Without it, I would have just ate how I wanted and what I wanted, without no problems, and then the cycle would continue. So those are my 5 reasons why I was trying to talk myself out of getting the VSG. But in the end of the day, I'm happy I got it. If you guys are, considering it, hopefully you also make a list of pros and cons. Definitely talk to your doctors. See if it's really something that would benefit you. Really see what type of eater you are. I mean, people had success on the lap band, but because of the way I ate, a volume eater, addictive eater, an emotional eater, no. The lap band didn't work for me, because I wouldn't stop eating with the lap band. And because it sat in a way that caused pain, I was constantly in pain, and that wasn't helpful anyway. So if you're like me and you suffer from such eatings, and you're eating too much, a volume eater, maybe it's time to reduce that stomach. Maybe it's time to really force that change that you need. Definitely weigh your options. Definitely. So that's it. That's all I'm going to have to say. I know the video is really long, but thank you so much for listening. And for those who are on their journey, I definitely wish you the best of luck. For all those who's watching, thank you so much, and God bless.